Like, what?
Yeah. What? How come every time I go there, they just give you like a plastic cup? They're like, what? No, I want the glass one in the picture.
And
Like, we don't have
martini glasses that people have. I actually did learn. So I did a short with my students, and I bought, let's see, what did I buy? I bought regular tea, I bought green tea, ginger ale, and a few other items. And I found out that ginger ale, if you let it be flat for about an hour, it makes really good beer. You can make different drinks with the different kinds of tea. So I went and I bought a bunch of different things and made mixed drinks for a bar scene.
So what you're telling me is you're drunk right now. Like,
so much ginger ale on me.
I know it's noon on a Monday, but Kelly, I tell you, it's been a hard week already.
I mean, it's lucky. 9 a.m. it was worse. Life is tough.
So what I thought was also really interesting was at the end of the movie with all the blood and the gore, Tyler said that they used roughly 12 gallons of blood, which is not that much. That place was soaked.
I mean, listen, have you ever spilled a glass of water and you just find water somewhere else a month later? So yeah, you can make 12 gallons work.
You can, yeah, definitely. Especially with spraying it and everywhere, just putting it in a little bit of a brush and just splatting it around. The slipping and sliding that the surgeon did, Corey said that was actually real because he was trying to stand up, but he just kept falling over. It's like the hell with it. I'll just be on the ground.
I never paid attention to the floor, but I mean, I don't know if it was concrete or linoleum, whatever it was, but if that's linoleum, you're not getting up.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I watched it again this morning, and it's just like the scene. I mean, the whole place it's like it looked like a body exploded, and he's like slipping and trying to get up, and that's when he pulls out the gun. And he's like, "You bastard!" and shoots him. He's like, "Oh my God, you dick!" We're like, why did you get in the way of me shooting my own creature?
I don't know if this is really random, but if you watch Deep Blue Sea again, the production designer put linoleum down on the floor, and Rennie Harlan was complaining about that during the commentary, because when you see the actors fall, they're really falling because it's wet linoleum. He's like, this is a $100 million movie and our floors are all linoleum and our actors slid everywhere. But no, I guess going back to some of the smaller moments that we were just talking about, I like when she's eating cereal and she can't quite get into her mouth, so the other hand helps. Those are neat little touches in the film.
Yeah, Tori did a phenomenal job with that. I mean, it really looked like she was 3 different characters trying to control one body.
Yeah. Legit physics. There's a lot of physicality in this role.
Right? Yeah. She went above and beyond. I was very much impressed with the film.
I wouldn't be able to do it.
No. My acting days are long and gone. Even if I would try to do it, I don't think I'd be able to do it quite as good as she did.
I'd just be one of the weird Romero zombies from '68 that looks at the camera.
Yeah. I would just be like, release the owl cat.
I screened that for my students at Living Dead, and I showed them the extra that just looks at the camera and he's walking naturally in the background. Yeah. And then that inspired 50 years worth of zombie pictures.
Yeah, right.
There's a good guy getting stabbed in the head in this movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of good head stabbing. The frat house guy, he really gets a good knife to the head.
That's the serial killer in them, correct? So they all kind of have a blending of their personalities?
I was thinking of the same thing, that maybe the different personalities are egging her on to kill. Or maybe they're all talking about it, and then Madeline gets worked up to the point where she does the killing.
I think Madeline wants to kill the whole time.
Yeah, but the other two don't really, like Ellie and Jennifer aren't really into the killing as much as one would think. So then they are talking about how they've been wronged, and then it's Madeline that's then driving the force.
Because in the beginning, when they kill Bluetooth, they're kind of happy about it, right? All 3 of them, they're like, that was great.
Yeah, like, good job. Let's do this again. I know a frat house, and these guys dicked me over.
So then they go in to kill more. So they're kind of bad influences on each other, right? Kind of spirit led on by Madeline.
Yeah, they're all kind of all the same people trying to egg each other on.
And to be fair, they've been combined into 3 people, so who knows where their brain's at.
Yeah, of course. I love the scene where she goes to the nightclub and the guy who's like kind of a douche is like chatting up all the girls, and then Stitch walks in, picks up one of the, I don't know what those are called.
Yeah. The stanchion, I guess.
Turns to the girl and she's like, were you with him all last week? And she's like, yeah. Again.
Yeah, that poor guy, so he was a jerk, but he didn't deserve to die.
No, he definitely didn't deserve to die. I think it would have been funny. I mean, but it's funny to see getting back at all these different guys that screw him over.
Didn't they say, I liked when the guy said that we don't call it a crew anymore, we're a collective. And you hear a lot of that, where there's an art collective of people who make pictures together. They're part of a collective. So I kind of liked, maybe that was an insider Hollywood type thing there with the collective. We're in a collective.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like seeing whenever the same group of people make another movie, much like it translated into Tragedy Girls, which was their follow-up.
Man, that was a big. Before we get into that, if you were Garrett, how would you feel at the end of this picture?
I'd be pissed. I'd be really pissed, to be honest. Whenever I first saw this movie, I was like, "Oh man!" I'd be angry. But then again, he gets shot and he's dying. So this is kind of a way to save him.
There is something to say here. I guess he does save Stitch because she's about to get sawed, but she told him not to come.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of his own dumb fault.
And then he shows up and gets shot. And
then he gets called a dick as he's dying.
And his spine is going to be used to make a short person much taller.
Another thing I thought was pretty funny was that other animals had been written out to piece together in this movie. It wasn't just the owl cat, but one of the ideas was a snake bat.
That sounds horrifying.
A really great quote that I got from Chris Lee Hill was, he said, "Personally, I like the idea of every owl cat, there is a cat owl to match." But he said that while they were making the movie, one of the few fun moments that he had was watching the three ladies when they were rehearsing the fight sequence, because he said it made him feel like this was a much bigger movie than what they had envisioned.
Well, that's gotta be a good feeling.
A nice home feeling. You know what I mean? Like whenever you're on it, you got to be like as a writer or director, and you're watching something that you've written being acted out in front of you. It's like, it's a nice feeling. I just feel it's very nice, warming.
How did your Santa short feel when you saw the finished product?
I liked it I really well. When we chopped it all together and it was edited, I believe it was just a few minor tweaks, because there was a really really extreme close up on the little girl who says, "Santa, can I go home now?" at the end. We had a really good tight close up on her face. It was beautifully shot. However, it didn't match the movie. Really didn't. It was a beautiful shot, though. I'm not going to lie to you. It really is gorgeous, but it just didn't fit.
Why would you lie to me, Chris Kelly? What is this going to lead us down something, Chris Kelly? I'm worried about this.
Now I'm really worried.
I had a buddy that we all call him No Lie. He's like, "No lie, man. This hot dog's great." Like, well, okay.
Like, well, why would you lie to me about a good hot dog?
Yeah. What haven't you been lying about? Like, have you been lying?
You told me that you liked relish. No one likes relish.
Wait, you didn't say no lie before that. Does that mean you're lying? He was either really brilliant at getting in people's heads, or he just occasionally said, "I'm not going to lie."
Like, I think he's mediocre getting in my head, and I think he's lying.
So I have a question, and this is about Tragedy Girls. Who do you think is a better director? Mario Wario or Dario Argento?
I'm going to go with Pario. What was it? Pario Gargento?
Yeah, you said the wrong word.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was just real. I loved how they pretended the whole time to not know anything. And it's just, that movie was brilliantly made, too.
And this is not a knock on Patchwork, which I really enjoyed, but the step up to Tragedy Girls, well, that was a very confident step up to that film.
It felt like a lot bigger movie. It felt like a lot more going on, a lot of more moving parts. Big kudos to everybody involved as well, because it showed that they went from one film to another, and it just really showed that they could handle something of a much larger caliber. Not to say that Patchwork wasn't a beast in its own, but it just really showed with Tragedy Girls, especially with the burning building, with everyone being trapped inside.
Someone upside down getting their head sawed. You had bite gags going on. You had actual moving vehicles.
Yeah. There was a lot of the guy being thrown off the balcony and being hung.
More days.
Yeah, there probably was more days. I didn't get to ask Tyler about Tragedy Girls, so I'm really kind of upset about that. But yeah, that would have been cool.
I think
hear him talk about that.
I think Tragedy Girls, though, or not Tragedy Girls, Patchwork, though. I think this really was a 12. I mean, everything that I've learned about this movie has made me like it better. 12 days, under $100,000, just a very interesting. I mean, this could be a good film to teach in class, just to talk to the production designers, to talk to everybody, just to kind of see how to stretch a budget.
I definitely agree with that. I think that this film would be great to use for any aspiring filmmaker to just say, like, oh, I don't have the money. It's not in my budget to make what I want. And it's like, well, look what he did with less than 100,000. And I mean, it's a beautifully made movie. So I wanted to go along with that. Chris Lee Hill had told me a funny story that happened while during the production of this, and he said one night after a long night of shooting, Tyler and I were in a minor car accident where we blew out 2 tires. We were both exhausted, but we had to eat ice cream sandwiches that were given to us by Ethan, the producer and the person who ran Crafty, to transport. So sitting there on a curb at 3 a.m. eating ice cream, melting ice cream sandwiches, waiting for a tow truck. I don't think there's a better explanation of indie filmmaking than that.
Yeah, I love it.
I thought that was really good because I told him I had a similar story with pizza. So I'm just like, yeah, that's pretty funny.
Before we get into kind of Chris Kelly recommendations, anything else you want to say about this movie? Anything else that it was cool that was covered in your interviews?
Everybody involved in the interviews, I just want to say we're all very friendly, all very open. They gave me a lot of good insight. A lot of the information that you look up online, it's kind of sparse. A few of the articles aren't really as in depth as anything else. So I was happy to reach out to these guys and to have them actually respond. So thank you very much, everybody involved in the production, for replying back to me and giving us a lot of insight on making of this movie.
All right, so now it's time for some Chris Kelly recommendations. I'm not going to sing for you because last time you're like, Mark, now it's time for the song. So I've retired the song. Are there any recommendations?
There is, but let me just say the composer on this movie, he is very well known for his Christmas movie scores. He did 5 in 2019 alone.
Oh, so does he work for Hallmark and those
yes,
kind of?
And Lifetime and places like that. So I thought that was funny because I looked it up and I was like, man, this guy has a ton of Christmas movies.
Well, here's the thing, Chris Kelly. I watch those films, and
I do too.
And I think anybody that laughs at them that's antiquated to laugh. That's antiquated thinking because these things are here to stay. I mean, they make dozens a year, and they're big money now.
Oh yeah, they definitely pull in because they're always popular during a certain time of year. I saw one; it was called Christmas in Nashville, I think, where Snowy Mountain Christmas, where it's about like a Nashville country star that gets snowed in. It's really funny and it's really cute. So it's like. No, I like those movies as well. Also, the composer Russ Howard III, he did Hobo with a Shotgun.
Oh, so Rutger Hauer.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I thought that was really cool.
And I want everyone to know that if they hear purring or something hitting the microphone, I have my cat with me, and my cat's purring, and my cat knows how to work the ice maker now on my refrigerator. So it jumps up and it presses the ice maker until ice comes out, and then it bats the ice around the house. Bats the ice around the house. Pretty impressive. What do you think,
My
Chris
cat
Kelly?
has a full-time job also.
Yeah, he's currently doing my taxes.
Paper route. And
he has a little green hat on and a calculator.
If you're having septic tank problems, just give him a ring.
Yep. He'll drive up in a tiny car. Little tiny hose and clean it out.
It's the cutest damn thing you've ever seen.
Wait, but I just checked your septic tank and it's not clogged. Yeah, we just wanted to have you out here.
I heard about this tiny car. I'm not going to lie to you. Mark's been talking about this thing for weeks.
Why are you lying to this person? Oh, wait, no, that's a...
Not going to lie to you. I'm lying.
Wait.
So
thanks for the honesty.
My recommendations. I do have 2 recommendations. As I said before, that my recommendations, whenever we do a podcast, you think of this podcast as being the meal, and my recommendations is more like a wine or a beer or maybe like a side dish to complement this. They may not be directly related, but they complement the film very well. First recommendation is Assassination Nation.
Oh, yeah. I watched that.
It's a great movie, isn't it?
That's Neon. Neon's crushing it.
No, yeah. All their movies are very, very vivid and very raw. That's what I like about them.
Wild Rose came out this year. I absolutely adored that. I haven't
seen that.
I got they also did Monos.
So I don't think I've seen that one.
And Apollo 11, that should have won an Oscar.
Yeah, that was a great one.
Portrait of a Lady on Fire, dude. That should have won Best Foreign Film.
I haven't seen that, but I'll have to definitely.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Chris Kelly.
Not gonna lie to you. Assassination Nation is on Hulu right now. Oh, actually, well, let me just add that if you do want to watch Patchwork, it is on Shudder, and I spoke with the guys at Videodrome here in Atlanta, Georgia, and they will be ordering it to be rented shortly.
Nice.
Yeah, they never heard of the movie. So after telling them about it while I went to go rent one of my recommendations, the guy was really impressed and decided to order it for rental.
Nice.
So Assassination Nation, about a group of girls that are targeted by this small town mainly because of everything that's being leaked. Everybody's